If there are 8 speakers,
3 of which are female,
and the number of male speakers is 1 fewer than twice the number of female speakers, and the sum of all seniors in our group is equal to
the sum of all underclassmen in the same group,
and if our coach has entered this competition category,
court speaking,
the same number of times as we have won 3rd place in said category.
What is the sum total of hours spent in preparation for this competition?
Please explain your answer in imaginary numbers.
Did you ever wake up to one of those days where everything is a problem?
You have 10 things to do.
But only 30 minutes until your bus leaves. Is there enough time?
You have 3 shirts.
And 2 pairs of pants.
Can you make 1 good outfit?
Then you start to wonder,
why does everything have to be such a problem?
Why do 2 apples always have to be added to 5 oranges?
Why is it always apples and oranges? Why not peaches and grapefruit? Or avocados and asparagus?
Why do 4 kids always have to divide 12 marbles?
Well, why can't you just keep 10 cookies without someone taking 3 away?
Why?
Because you're the victim of a math curse!
But don't despair.
This is the story of how that curse was broken.
Math curse.
By John Cheska.
And Lane Smith.
On Monday in math class, Mrs. Fibonacci says,
You know, you can think of almost everything as a math problem.
on Tuesday, we start having problems.
I wake up at 7:15. It takes me 10 minutes to get dressed, 15 minutes to eat my breakfast, and 1 minute to brush my teeth.
Suddenly, it's a problem.
If my bus leaves at 8 o'clock, will I make it on time?
How many minutes in 1 hour?
How many teeth in one mouth?
I look in my closet, and the problems get worse.
I have 1 white shirt,
3 blue shirts, 3 striped shirts.
And that 1 ugly plaid shirt my Uncle Zeno sent me.
How many shirts is that all together?
1 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1.
How many shirts would I have if I threw away that awful plaid
Plus
one?
3.
When will Uncle Zeno quit sending me such ugly shirts?
I'm getting a little worried.
Everything seems to be a problem. I take the milk out for my cereal and wonder,
How many quarts in a gallon? How many pints in a quart?
how many inches in a foot? How many feet in a yard? How many yards in a neighborhood? How many inches in a pint? How many feet in my shoes?
I don't even bother to take the cereal out.
I don't want to know how many flakes in a bowl.
Mrs. Fibonacci has obviously put a math curse on me.
Everything I look at or think about has become a math problem. I try to get on the bus without thinking about anything, but there are 5 kids already on the bus. 5 kids get on at my stop, 5 more get on at the next stop, and 5 more get on the last stop. True or false? What is the bus driver's name?
Robert. Nathaniel.
Oliver?
Vance?
Felix?
Heathcliff,
Gunther?
Marshall,
Darryl.
Christopher?
Xavier.
Bartholomew.
Calvin?
Sam.
The whole morning is one problem after another. There are 24 kids in the class.
I just know someone is going to bring in cupcakes to share.
We sit in 4 rows with 6 desks in each row. What if Mrs. Fibonacci rearranges the desks to make 6 rows? Or 8 rows? Or 3 rows? Or 2 rows?
1.
I counted 24 kids in our class here. This time by 2. Jay scratches his paper with 1 finger.
How many fingers are in our class? 4.
Casey pulls Eric's ear. How many ears in our class?
The new girl Kelly sticks her tongue out at me.
5. How many tongues in our class?
I'm about to really lose it when the lunch bell rings. Unfortunately for me, lunch is pizza and apple pie.
Each pizza is cut into 8 equal slices.
Each pie is cut into 6 equal slices.
And you know what that means? Fractions!
If I want 2 slices of pizza, should I ask for 1 8? 2 8?
2 slices of pizza?
What is another way to say half of an apple pie? 2 6? 3 6?
La moitié à ton tarte au bout.
Which is greater? Half a pizza? Half an apple pie? We haven't studied fractions yet!
So, I take 12 carrot sticks, 3 at a time, and eat them 2 at a time.
In the afternoon, every subject is a problem.
Social studies is a geography problem.
The Mississippi River is about 4,000 kilometers long.
And M&M is about 1 centimeter long. There are 100 centimeters in a meter and 1,000 meters in a kilometer.
Estimate how many M&Ms it would take to measure the length of the Mississippi River.
How many M&Ms you would eat if you had to measure the Mississippi River with M&Ms?
Boys, can you spell Mississippi without any M&Ms?
English is a word problem. If mail plus box equals mailbox,
Does lipstick minus stick equal lip?
does tuna fish plus tuna fish equal Florida fish?
PE is a sports problem.
In 1919, Babe Ruth hit 29 home runs, batted .322, and made $40,000. In 1991, the average Major League Baseball player hit 15 home runs, batted .275, and made $840,000.
Which of the following is correct? Number 1.
Da-da-da-da-da!
Babe Ruth is greater than the average modern baseball player. Number 2. Babe Ruth is equal to the average modern baseball player. Or number 3. Babe Ruth is less than the average modern baseball player.
Math is just a total problem. Mrs. Fibonacci says there are many ways to count. She asks us to give some examples. Russell counts on his fingers.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Molly says,
2, 4, 6, 8, 10.
Mrs. Fibonacci says,
I always count 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, 8, 13. But on the planet Tetra, kids only have 2 fingers on each hand. So they count 1, 2, 3, 10. And on the planet Binary, kids only have 1 finger on each hand. So they count 1, 10.
What are the next 5 numbers in each of those sequences?
Do you think Mrs. Fibonacci has been to the planet Tetra?
how would you bowl if you lived on the planet Binary?
We
We're
are
just about to go home when we regular numbers.
Wait!
The special birthday cupcakes your mom made.
There are
24 kids in the class. Rebecca has 24 cupcakes.
So what's the problem?
Rebecca wants Mrs. Fibonacci to have a cupcake too.
Everyone is going crazy trying to figure out what fraction of a cupcake each person will get.
Oh, yeah, right.
What is
I'm the first to figure out the answer. I raise my hand and tell Mrs. Fibonacci that I'm allergic to cupcakes. Believes me, gets 1 cupcake.
No one
0.
has to figure out fractions.
I stagger out of school.
I'm a math zombie now. I have to find some way to break this math curse.
I decided to try chocolate. My favorite candy bar is usually 50 cents. But guess what? Today it's on sale for 50% off. Percentages? That's worse than fractions.
Like my dad always says, when in doubt, use the quadratic formula.
Square root of b squared minus 4ac all over 2a, where a equals the numbers of letters in your first name, b equals your age, and c equals your shoe size.
I decided to buy licorice instead.
I pull out my money. I have a $5 bill, a $1 bill, a quarter, and a penny. A $5 bill, a $1 bill, a quarter, and a penny. George Washington is on both the quarter and the $1 bill. Abraham Lincoln is on both the penny and the $5 bill.
So which is true?
Number 1,
1 Washington equals 25 Lincolns. Number 2, 5 Washingtons equals 1 Lincoln. Or number 3, 1 Washington equals 100 Lincolns.
a quarter, and a penny.
How do you think Thomas Jefferson feels about all this? I'm now a raving mad lunatic!
What if this keeps up for a whole year?
How many minutes of mathematics would that be?
Dinner brings
No relief. While passing the mashed potatoes, Mom says, what your father says is false. Dad helps himself to some potatoes and says, what your mother says is true.
I think about that for a minute.
If what Mom says is true, then what Dad says is false.
But if what Dad says is false, then what Mom says isn't true?
And if what Mom says isn't true, then what Dad says isn't false.
But that can't be true because he says what Mom says is false, and she says what he says is true.
Can that be true?
Then I think about it some more.
Then I think I'd better go to bed.
I undo 8 buttons
Plus 2 shoelaces.
I subtract 2 shoes
I multiply times 2 socks.
and divide by 3 pillows.
To get 5 sheep.
Remainder 1,
Which is all I need to count before I fall asleep.
I dream I'm trapped in a room with no doors and no windows.
The room is covered with a lifetime of math problems.
I have only one piece of chalk.
How do I get out?
I'm about to give up and die when the answer to my problem
problem
comes to me.
Fractions. I break the chalk in half. Then I put the 2 halves back together. 1 half plus 1 half equals 1 whole. I put that hole in the wall and jump out.
I wake up Wednesday morning at 7:15. It takes me 10 minutes to get dressed, 15 minutes to eat my breakfast, and 1 minute to brush my teeth.
My bus leaves at 8 o'clock.
What time will I be ready?
7:41. No problem.
I've broken the math curse.
I can solve any problem.
And life is just great.
Until science class, when Mr. Newton says,
You know, you can think of almost everything as a science experiment.